Hey there, Urban J here, teaching you the second part that I promised of Dead Memories by Slipknot. So in this, I'm just going to go over, briefly what I talked about in my other video. I'm not going to go into detail with it. So a lot of it's the same pattern stuff. So if you need help with working patterns, I'll direct you to my other video where I go over it thoroughly. So in this part, the beginning, I'm teaching you the second guitar that comes in and sounds like. So through the intro, you're going to hear the first guitar go. And that right there is 2 measures. It's going to go through that a total of 3 times. And so in that third time, you're going to have a pickup from about 12, I would say. You slide up and slide back down. Alright, so that's basically the intro for that guitar. Alright, so I'm going to break that down for you. I mean, it's a lot of the same shape with the fingers. So you're going to have that pickup on 12, and then you're going to go to a 7 and a 9. Right here, 7 on the E, and then 9 on the D. And get that up to 10 and 12. And then bring that down to 8 and 10. Listen to the song for the duration of the notes. It's fairly easy. And then so you're taking 9 and 7 and you're sliding that all the way up to 14 and 16. And then you're hitting 14 and 16 again and sliding that down to 12 and 14. And you're hitting 12 and 14 again and sliding back down to 9 and 7. And then you're hitting that again and then sliding down to 5 and 7. So and then you're going to end with ringing out of 7 and 9. So that right there is your intro, if you so choose it. And then usually hold that for about 2 measures. And then you're going to rest for 2 measures. And then you're going to come back in with the other guitar with the end of the intro. So if you need a lowdown on that one, check it out at my first video. It's around this time on the video. It's fairly easy. And so you and the other guitar have the same part for the first verse. So just watch from the end of the intro to the first verse, and that's basically what you play too. I'm going to go over it. It sounds like. That's the first verse. And so now on to the pre-chorus. It's the same actually. So it's the same as the other guitar. So a lot of this is the same. There's very minimal variations. Just in the intro, the chorus, obviously the solo, which you're probably here to see. and that's really it. That's the interlude to, oh, the bridge, I should say. That's what it is. So I'll briefly go over the pre-chorus. And so that's the pre-chorus. It's about that speed too. And so after you finish that, this is where it becomes different again. So it's basically the same as the other one. You're gonna start out with the 15 and the 17, the 15 on the E, and then the 17 on the D, and then you're going to hit that 3 times and slide down to a 14 and a 16. Hit that 2 more times, slide down to a 10 and a 12. Hit it once more, sliding back up to a 12 and a 14, hitting that twice, slide up to a 14 and a 16, hitting that twice, and then slide up to the 15 and the 17, hit it one more time, and then repeat everything. So let me break that down for you. It's a little slow, but watch again. And so that's just one time. You're going to repeat that again. So making a total of 2 times. So it sounds like... And then go listen for the durations for this part, but it's fairly easy. Doing the 17 and the 15, and then down to 14, 16, and then back to 15, 17. And then copy that again, except now instead of going back up to the 15 and 17, go down to 12 on B, and then 14 on the A. Hit that twice as 2/8 notes. So the end, the last 2 measures of the chorus sounds like, and that's the chorus. For the interlude, if you need help with it, refer back to my other video. I'm trying to keep this one as short as possible, but essentially it's. That's the interlude. So now this verse is all in 16th notes, so you might want to work on alternate picking. This is a good way to help, but I mean, it might get a little tough if you're a beginner. If you're good at alternate picking, then this is going to be really easy. So the 3 notes that you're hitting throughout this verse are the 7, the 10, and the 8, all on the E string. So I'm not going to get into detail much. I'm just going to show you the notes that you're supposed to be hitting. If you need help with working on the actual durations of the notes, look at my other video. It's really easy though. Basically, it's 6 hits on 7, 6 hits on 10, 4 hits on 8, and then 4 on 7, 2 10, 4 7s, 2 10s, 2 7s, 2 10s, and you're going to repeat that, and then you're going to do the opposite of that. You know, instead of going 7 10 8, you're going to go 7 8 10, and then still do the second measure. So it sounds a little confusing. Let me go over it. So your part sounds like, oh, I'm going to slow it down. It sounds like, that's one time. You're going to do that again. just gonna mess around with it, going this time instead of 7, 10, 8, it's gonna be 7, 8, 10. And then back to the original 7, 10, 8. And then after that, go straight back to the pre-chorus. And then take the pre-chorus all the way into the chorus. Now I showed you the chorus. The only difference with this chorus is that you do everything twice again. So you're gonna go over what we did, and then you're gonna do it again. So the chorus sounds like. Bam. That's all the chorus is. You're going to take all that and then repeat it again. Alright? And so now comes the second interlude. If you're going to do the solo, I don't recommend doing the interlude, so that way you can prepare if you need to make any adjustments on your guitar to make it sound better. I'm not really going to do any of that right now, but I'm going to go over the interlude. And see, those last 3 notes is when you pick up to do the solo. So that's why I just recommend not to do it. If you want to, I recommend just, once you hit, that's one measure. And so if you're going to do the interlude, just do that 3 times instead of 4 times. And then so you can get your pickup easier. So if you want to, it would be like. Rest, and then go for the solo. Now, finally what you've been waiting for. You probably skipped ahead to it anyway. That's right. But now the solo. It is not as tricky as you would think. It just has a lot of alternate picking, and you have to have some fast fingers. But it's not that difficult. So in that last measure of the interlude, you're going to do a pickup of 3 notes. I guess you could call it a pickup. But you're going to take from about 2 down here on the D string, and then you're going to take that all the way up to 15, and then 12 up on the B, on the high B. So it's going to be. That's the pickup. If you don't technically have to take it down from the 2. It's just, unless you're really fast. But I mean, if it takes you a while to do, then probably just take it from about like 7 or 8. Doesn't really matter where you started from. And then once you come to that, once you finish that pickup, you're gonna pull. You're gonna bend this 15 on the F sharp string right here. So you're gonna take that up 1, just 1 step. Right there. That's the 1. And you're just gonna kind of dead note the 2 strings under or on top. You're gonna dead note the D and the F sharp, and then you're gonna take that 15 on the B. You're gonna bend that up pretty quickly, 1 step, and then you're going to you're gonna pull off and have the 13 ready. So. And then immediately after you pull off, hammer back onto the 15. So the solo from to that point right now is. and then you're gonna hammer on 13 to 15, and then pull off to 13 again. And then you're just gonna, not that far, but you're just gonna slide it down. And then here comes the fast part, obviously. 12, 13, 15. 12, 13, 15, 13, 12, 13, 12. And then down to the 15 on the F sharp string. And then you're gonna do 15, 13, 12, 13, 12, slide it down to 10. So the beginning of the fast part. And then you're gonna you're gonna go down one more string to the D. And then you're gonna do 12, 10, 12, 10, 9. Right there. And then just take the 10 and the 12 and hammer on. Hammer on twice. Hammer on and pull off, so. And then slide down to 9. So that all right there is just one measure. So I'm gonna slow it down for you, starting from the beginning of the fast part. Right there. That's all that first measure is. And then it's fairly easy from that point on. Then you can hit 10 on the A string. Hit 9 twice on the D string, and then just hammer on, pull off, hammer on, pull off a couple times, yeah, hammer on a couple times, and then slide it up to the 14 right here, and then you're gonna vibrato that. Makes it sound a lot better. And then you're going to take that down to 5. Okay, so you're going to bring the shape down to a 7 on the E, and then a 9 on the D. Listen for durations. You know, it usually, this rhythm goes from a quarter note to eighth note to a quarter to an eighth to a quarter. So back and forth. And all those quarter notes, you're going to hit a vibrato. So you're going to take down from take the 7 and the 9 down to a 5 and then 7, and then take that all the way up to 10 and a 12, then back down to a 5 and a 7, up to a 7 and a 9, back down to 5 and 7, up to 8 and 10, and then down to 5 and 7, but you're going to take that 5 and 7, and you're going to grace note that to 7 and a 9. And then back down to 5 and 7. So it may sound confusing, but I'm going to go over it right now. So it sounds like that's what it is with the grace note in there. And so after you get back to that last 5 and 7, you're going to hit 7 on the E. Take it all the way up to the 19 on the D. And then down to a 17, and then 17, slide down to a 16, vibrato that, because it's actually not an eighth note like the rest, it's a tied, so it's a quarter note. And then you're going to take that 16 that you're holding, don't hit it again, and then down to a 14, and then take the 14, hit it again, down to a 9, take the 9, down to a 7, take the 7 up to a 12, take the 12 down to a 9, and then 9 down to a 7. And then you're going to end on 2 measures of the 9. So, just that part alone, when you're up at the 19, it sounds like. so now comes the bridge. If you're doing the solo, I mean, you don't have to do the bridge. Or if you have a third guitar, I'll just teach you the bridge for that third guitar, because I already taught one part, the main part, to the other guitar. If you want to learn that, check that out. But essentially, once that solo guitar hits that last 9, that's when the bridge starts, is that note. So take the 7 on the A string and the 7 on the high B, and then that's going to be a whole measure right there, so it's a whole note. And then you're going to take the 5 on the D, and then keep the 7 on the B, but those are only half notes, and then you're going to change that to a 5 and an 8. And then you're going to take that 5 and make that a 7, so a 7 on D and a 7 on B. But that one is a whole note. So, and then you're going to take that 5, you're going to take a 5 and put it on the F string, and keeping that 7, letting that ring, and then just hitting the 8 alone. So that's what the bridge is for the other guitar. So it's... And then you're going to repeat that entire thing one more time. And then after you repeat it for the, after you complete the second time you're doing it, you're going to end, and on that, the first note, the first measure of the bridge, which is the 7 on the D, a 7 on the A, and the 7 on the B. You're going to rest for about 3 beats, and then you come in with the pickup around the 17, and then do the ending to your chorus. Alright, and then you're back into the chorus. So you're going to do that ending, and then you're going to do the chorus twice again, just like you did that last time. And then comes the outro solo. So you finish off the chorus for the second time, or the second go around, and then keep this shape right here. It's easier to hammer on and pull off. You're gonna have the index on the 15, which is on the F sharp, the middle on the 17 on the F sharp. So that way it's easier. You're gonna hammer on to the 18, pull off to the 17, then pull off to the 15, and then you're gonna end back hammering on that 17. And that one's gonna be a half note, and then you're gonna 8th note the 15 and the 17 again. So one measure sounds like... Oh, that was choppy, but it sounds like... So that's one measure. You can do that twice. Take that 18, go up, and then hammer off, pull off. You're going to pull off to the 17, pull off to the 15, pull off to the 13. So, and then go back up to the 15, and then you're going to pull. You're going to bend that one. So you're going to do 16th notes of the 13, the 15, and then the 13 again, and slide down to the 12. And then back up to 13, 15. And that note right there is the 14 on the D string. And then you're going to pull off 15, 13, 12, and then 14 on the D again. And then 15. So that entire outro solo is... And that right there is the part of Dead Memories. If you care to know the different parts, go ahead and watch my other video. What I like to do a lot is to mix and match the different parts. So I would play like the intro, and then when the time came, I would also do. So I like to mix and match, or maybe like the second verse I would go. So it really depends on how you want to play it or not, and that's the way I like to play it, you know, just to mix and match. And so please watch my other video. Like, favorite, subscribe, comment. If you have any questions or requests of what you want me to teach or, you know, go over, shoot me a video response to one of my Dead Memory videos, or comment, or even send me a message. I mean, I don't have a lot of subscribers, so right now I can respond to them pretty quickly. So if you have any requests or questions, feel free and message me any way you can, like that. And have fun. Keep on rocking.